President Biden is in Arizona unveiling his $8.5 billion agreement with tech giant Intel. The funding is part of the CHIPS Act. Intel will also be given $11 billion in loans for computer chip plants in 4 states. The investment will create 30,000 manufacturing and construction jobs.
Nearly all manufacturing of leading-edge chips across the entire industry moved overseas to Asia years ago. That's why today's investment is such a big deal. We will enable advanced semiconductor manufacturing to make a comeback here in America after 40 years.
Meanwhile, the Federal Reserve today left interest rates unchanged. The central bank suggested it still expects to cut rates 3 times this year. Chair of the Council of Economic Advisors, Bernstein, joins us now. Thank you so much for joining us. And of course, we'll get to the Fed's announcement in a moment. But first, what does today's investment by the president say about the administration's efforts to bring chips manufacturing back in the United States?
It says that this president not only understands the importance of this, but he can deliver. In so many cases, we've heard aspirations to invest in our infrastructure and our manufacturing under our predecessor's administration without the legislation to back it up. Now, here we had a bipartisan piece of critically important, really transformational legislation in the CHIPS Act, and now we're talking about bringing domestic manufacturing of this extremely important component, semiconductors, back to our shores. We invented semiconductors. We invented their manufacturing. We used to produce 40% of the chips. Now we're down to 10%. This president not only wants to reverse that, but he has the legislative chops to make it happen. And it was just great seeing him out there today talk about this landmark investment in Arizona.
And then back to the Fed's decision today and, the decision to hold rates steady. How do you think that will impact the average American?
Well, we're pretty careful not to get into the Fed's knitting, and so we let their decision and the commentary around that stand for itself. I will point out one thing that I thought was interesting in the report. They upgraded their forecast for economic growth for this year. I think it was 1.4%. They upgraded it to 2.1. At the same time, we've seen inflation come down by 2/3 off of its peak. This is a remarkable development. We've seen strong economic growth and yet considerably lower inflation. Now, we have a lot more work to do when it comes to lowering costs, and we're doing so. In fact, one of the ways you do that is you build out domestic manufacturing right here in this country. That's not just national security, that's economic security. But you also go after the high price of housing, which this president has a great agenda on, junk fees, prescription drugs, and more. So that's all fits, quite neatly into what we're trying to do here.
And our Weijia Zhang sat down with several voters in Arizona, as you may have heard, to get their take on the economy. Let's take a listen.
I can, afford toilet paper and chicken and everything that that we need.
The principle of it, right?
But there's a lot of people that can't.
We have to budget everything down to the finest thing, and the cost of healthcare and medical has gone up.
I feel like right now the first-time home buyer, they're priced out. If you make $20 an hour, you cannot buy a house by yourself.
So I know you said that inflation has come off of its peak, but, what do you say to Americans like that who may not be feeling the tangible impacts yet?
Yeah, great question, Nicole. I did say inflation's down 2/3 off of its peak, but I also said right after that, we have more work to do. And just there, I thought you heard a very clear articulation of the work that we have to do. I think the question that folks should ask themselves is there evidence of that work being undertaken by this administration? The answer is an unequivocal yes. You just heard someone talking about the challenge buying a home for the first time. Well, the president, actually, he talked about that earlier this week. I think that was Tuesday. It feels like weeks ago, given how much he's been up to lately. He talked about his plan for a first-time home buyer tax credit. That would have the effect of lowering the mortgage rate by 1.5 or 2 percentage points for people just like the one you spoke to. When it comes to our lowering costs agenda, whether it's groceries, housing, whether it's healthcare, prescription drugs, healthcare coverage, as I mentioned earlier, junk fees, checking fees, overdraft fees. We're actively working, and we've had some success in that space. We just have to keep pushing. The question isn't, are we there yet? We're not. Are we pushing in the right direction? And especially in contrast to those who would offer an alternative set of policies, which looks to us extremely divorced from everything you just heard from those voters.
CBS News exit polling out of Ohio yesterday found that more voters actually trust Republicans to handle the economy over Democrats. And while I know you said there's still more work to do you think there's a disconnect there?
Well, I think what happens sometimes is we ask these very broad questions that invoke partisanship and party affiliation, and I understand that. But you started this segment showing a president standing near a groundbreaking of historic proportions, one of the largest investments in semiconductors in this country ever, in the state of Ohio, in the state of Arizona, where he was today, in New Mexico, in Oregon. And you're talking about tens of thousands of good, high-quality jobs, many for non-college educated workers. I'm not sure what else we can do other than deliver precisely those kinds of programs and policies to the American people right here on American soil. You saw a president saying, I'm going to bring these jobs back to America. Now, let me offer you the following to you, because you have a television station and you could probably do this poll. I'd like to ask the same folks we're talking to, maybe even the same ones who spoke to that poll you just gave us, what they think about that, what they think about this president's agenda bringing jobs back to America to enhance our economic national security in the critical area of semiconductor production. I'd love to see the results of that poll.
All right, Jared Bernstein, we hope to have you back, and thank you so much for being with us tonight.
My pleasure.